Wheels Up with Sunrise on Wheels. I'm Michele Newman. Today's program is all about Egypt. And like all Wheels Up episodes, it has three segments. First, I'll take you on a trip all over Egypt. We'll look at pyramids, tombs, the sprawling city of Cairo, and we'll even go to the beach. Next, we'll craft with Caroline, making our very own personal cartouche and an interesting, fun pyramid. Next, I hope you'll play along as we play Egyptian trivia.
Home to one of the oldest and most advanced ancient civilizations, Egypt stuns at every corner. Colorful felucca boats with single sails of white cotton crisscross between the banks of the Nile. Thrilling desert scenes to stunning beaches and blue lagoons to the unmissable pyramids. Egypt has something for everyone. So today I want to take you on a trip to visit one of the places near the top of my bucket list, Egypt. 5,000 years ago, the ancient Egyptians made their home at the mouth of the Nile River, where the Nile runs into the Mediterranean Sea. It was a wonderful place to live. The soil was rich. Food was plentiful. They were surrounded by desert, which kept them safe from intruders, and the Nile kept their world green. The pharaohs of ancient Egypt were the supreme leaders of the land. They were like kings or emperors and were both the political and religious leader. The pharaoh was often thought of as one of the gods. While most pharaohs were men, a few women also became the rulers. Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, and Cleopatra were three of the most famous women to rule ancient Egypt. The Old Kingdom is a period of time from 2575 BC to 2150 BC, and over these 400 years, Egypt had a strong central government and a prosperous economy. It's famous as the time when many pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs and their queens. The pharaohs were buried in pyramids of many different shapes and sizes, from the beginning of the Old Kingdom to the end of the Middle Kingdom. There are about 80 pyramids known today from ancient Egypt. Let's begin our adventure in Giza, where over 4,000 years ago, three large and well-preserved pyramids were built. Located 3 miles outside of Cairo and 5 miles from the Nile River is the Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest of all the Egyptian pyramids and one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built for the great pharaoh Khufu. Pharaoh Khufu was a very rich and famous pharaoh, and his pyramid held many different treasures of gold, jewels, and more. The tomb held these treasures because the Egyptians believed that when people died, they took with them whatever was in their tomb. However, don't expect to find any treasures. It was looted by grave robbers over 1,000 years ago. The only completely preserved portrait of the king is a 3-inch high ivory figurine found in a temple ruin. No one really knows how the Egyptians were able to build such massive structures, but many believe that the Egyptians moved the stone blocks using things like sleds or water and big ramps to boost the blocks to the top of the pyramid. It is estimated that it took 20,000 workers around 20 years to build them. Amazingly, just recently, ancient papers were discovered and pieced together. These hieroglyphs of the papyri, which are like Excel spreadsheets of the ancient world, provide interesting evidence of how this town, Wadi al-Jarf, served as supply hubs for the building of the Giza pyramids. From getting food from Egypt's rich agricultural lands along the Nile to the thousands of men working in the Sinai, retrieving copper and turquoise. Guarding the front of one of the pyramids is the Great Sphinx, a large human-headed lion. It's simply huge. Its face is 13 feet wide, and can you believe this was carved from a single mass of limestone? Approximately 66 feet tall, 240 feet long, it's one of the largest and oldest statues in the world. Its paws are more than twice our height, and it's longer than a city bus. Can you believe this has been around for more than 4,500 years? Researchers estimate it would have taken 100 people 3 years to carve this out of a single mass of limestone. For thousands of years, it was buried in the sand, only finally freed in the late 1930s. It's quite something, isn't it? While weather and erosion have taken their toll, no one is entirely sure exactly how the nose got knocked off. Next, let's travel into the dazzling city of Cairo, the capital of Egypt. With its 8 million people, it's the biggest city of the Arab world and the largest urban area in all of Africa. It has much to offer, including ancient monuments, glittering mosques, imposing citadels, exciting bazaars, and old Coptic churches. On one street, you can find all three religions. A church is built atop Roman ruins and is known for being one of the stops of the Holy Family. Home to the first mosque in all of Africa, built in 642 AD upon the arrival of Islam. And a short walk away is the Ben Ezra Synagogue, an architectural gem and one of the last remaining testaments to the once vibrant Egyptian Jewish community. And according to Jewish beliefs, Moses was raised here. Next, let's explore Khan el-Lili Marketplace, located in the heart of Cairo's old city and established way back in the 14th century. It's filled with everything from sparkling silverware, shoes, carpets, lights, lanterns. There are spices, mosaic earthwares, and all kinds of amazing items. I expect to spot Aladdin around every corner. Of course, no trip to Cairo would be complete without a stop into the Egyptian Museum, with more than 120,000 ancient Egyptian artifacts, from the Old Kingdom to the period of the Roman rule. Rooms filled with mummies, amazing collection of scrolls of papyrus, and the most intriguing attraction, King Tut's tomb. The child king was only 8 or 9 when he became king, and is probably the best known from ancient Egypt. His golden mask was breathtakingly crafted over 3,300 years ago, from 24 pounds of beaten gold, eyeliner of lapis, and eyes of quartz. It's probably the most recognizable artifact we have from antiquity. An ancient spell from the Book of the Dead is inscribed in hieroglyphics on the mask's shoulder. This book is a series of written spells that the ancient Egyptians believed helped them in the afterlife. We can see some amazing cartouches, an ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic nameplate. It's an oval with a horizontal bar with a royal name. They're usually vertical with a horizontal line, but horizontal if the name is very long. Traditionally, the cartouche was written on tombs and coffins to mark who was inside. The ancient Egyptians believed that each person had 2 souls, the Ba and the Ka, which used the cartouche to identify the body they belonged to, so that an Egyptian would move on to the afterlife. Sometimes pharaohs would wear an amulet-style cartouche to help ward off evil spirits and attract good luck. Located just a few hours from the bursting metropolis of Cairo lies a desert that will make you feel like you've landed on the surface of the moon. Formed by centuries of erosion and sandstorms, these unique calcium rock formations crop up across the landscape like great abstract statues. Only in the White Desert will you encounter such a bizarre and awe-inspiring natural museum of chalk. What do you think? Next, let's travel further south to the city of Luxor, located on the east bank of the Nile River. It's on the site of the ancient Thebes, the pharaoh's capital at the height of their power during the 16th to 11th centuries BC. In this new kingdom, rulers no longer wanted to be buried in expensive pyramids, instead favoring elaborate tombs on the west bank of the Nile. These would be colorful tales of their victorious reign and their passing into the underworld, which can be translated through the hieroglyphic markings inside. The Nile divides the area into 2 distinct halves. The east bank was the city of the living, where the temples of Luxor and Karnak greeted the sunrise every day. The temples of Luxor and Karnak continue to dominate the city, exuding ruined grandeur with their massive statues, elaborately ornate ornamented walls and towering pillars designed to showcase the power of the pharaoh. The Luxor Temple was constructed for the worship of the god Amun-Ra, whose marriage anniversary to his wife Mut was celebrated once a year. At its entrance is a huge pylon constructed by Ramses II, with huge statues of the king. 2 obelisks once stood here as well, though only one remains. The other is in Paris. Not far away is the Temple of Karnak, the largest religious structure ever built, covering over 200 acres and is filled with decaying temples, massive pillars, avenues of sphinxes, and towering 97-foot-tall obelisk. One of the most awe-inspiring rooms is filled with 134 giant sandstone columns supporting a high roof and enclosed by massive walls that after 3,300 years remains substantially intact today. The great hall is vast. Each column is filled with puzzling hieroglyphs, pictures used by ancient Egyptians. It's a very old form of writing that was started as early as 3000 BC and is a very complicated way of writing involving thousands of symbols. Some are easy to identify, some confusing, and some downright impossible. This vast hall of columns looks like a perfect place to play hide and seek to me. What do you think? Across the Nile on the west bank, more treasures await. Here's the Valley of the Kings, served as the final resting place for the pharaohs of the New Kingdom. Dozens of royal tombs line the steep sides of the desolate valley, including that of King Tut, discovered in 1922. Even though the tombs were raided by grave robbers, their interiors are still magnificent, with colorful paintings and hieroglyphs. Just outside the Valley of the Kings stands another stunning monument, the Temple of Hatshepsut. Carved out of a sheer cliff face, it testifies to the power and influence of one of only a few female pharaohs in Egyptian history. Moving 60 miles south along the Nile is Edfu, one of the most preserved temples in Egypt, thanks to the fact that it was buried under sand for nearly 2,000 years. It's dedicated to Horus, the avenging son of Isis and Osiris. While known for its pyramid and ancient artifacts, Egypt is also home to incredible beach resorts. Swim season never really ends in Egypt thanks to its warm climate. Bordered by the wilds of the Red Sea and the relaxation of the Mediterranean, Egypt is famous for its beaches, fantastic diving opportunities, biodiversity of its large mammals, reptiles, birds, plants, untouched marine life. The Valley of the Camels is an Egyptian national park encompassing both desert and the sea, with many coral reefs, making it a spectacular place to explore. Well, visiting Egypt is certainly magical. Did you have a favorite part? Well, our trip around Egypt must come to an end. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our trip around Egypt. Let's go craft with Caroline.
Hi, my name is Caroline, and I'm so excited to do arts and crafts with you today. Today's video was all about Egypt, so today we're going to make 2 really fun Egypt crafts, and one of them is a pyramid, and the other one is a cartouche. And here I have an Egyptian headdress that you can make, and here are some hieroglyphics that they used to use in Egypt. I hope you have fun! So the first craft we're going to do is we're going to make a cartouche. And a cartouche was an Egyptian nameplate, and on it they would write hieroglyphics, which are like characters. So if you want to write your name or your initials or a word, you can find the character that corresponds to each letter of your name or whatever word you're writing. So what we need for the craft is paper, a pencil, scissors, glue, and some markers. So the first step is we're going to cut out our cartouche. So you should leave about 1 inch of space on the bottom of your paper because we're going to roll it so that it looks like a scroll on the bottom. So I'm going to start about 1 inch above and draw a shape like this. And then when I cut it, I'm gonna go a little bit out to the sides first, and then I'm going to cut down because we wanna leave space so we can roll the paper for the scroll. So like this. And now I'm going to cut this out. So now that I have my cartouche cut out, I'm going to make this scroll. So I'm gonna put some glue over here. And then I'm going to roll it to make it look like the scroll on the bottom. So now I'm going to start to decorate my cartouche. So first, on the scroll, I'm gonna draw 3 little lines for some decoration. And then I'm going to draw a line around the whole thing, like that. And then I'm going to draw some designs around it. And you don't have to do these designs. You could do different designs. You can make it colorful, whatever you want. And now I'm going to start to write the hieroglyphics. So I'm going to write my initials, which are CIF. So first I'm going to draw the C, which is this character here. So I'm going to use my orange marker, and it looks like that. Then next, the I are 2 little lines with yellow. Like this. And then finally, the F is like a serpent. So this is what my cartouche looks like, and I'm going to turn mine into a necklace. But if you want, you can also leave it how it is, or you could put some foil around it and make it look like this. So to make it into a necklace, I'm going to take my pencil and poke a hole in it. And here I have my string, so I'm going to put it through the hole. And then I'm going to tie it at the end. And now I have a necklace. So now we're going to make a pyramid, and all you need is some paper, a pencil, and a marker. So to make the pyramid, first we're going to fold our paper in half this way and crease it. Then we're going to unfold it and fold it up. Then we're going to unfold it again. Then we're going to fold this corner to this one. And it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little bit like weird. It's not going to line up exact. Like that. And then we're going to unfold it. And then we're going to fold this corner to this one. Same thing, it's not going to be perfect. Then unfold it again. And then we're going to fold this corner to here, like this. Then we're going to fold this corner to here. Then we're going to go to the bottom, and this line we're going to fold like this. This part's a little bit tricky, so it's going to go up like this. Once you pinch it like this, you're going to fold it over like that. So it's open like this, and then it goes like that. Then we're going to take this piece and fold it up to here. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did before on this side. So it's going to fold up like this. And then fold over. And then same thing, we're gonna fold this to here. And then we're going to fold it like this so that we make sure it stays really well. And then when you open it up, you have your pyramid. So now we're going to draw on our pyramid, and to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to fold it like this again. And on one side, I'm going to draw some bricks. So first, I'm going to draw a bunch of lines across both sides. And then I'm going to draw some lines down, and I'm going to do them a little bit randomly so that it looks like real bricks on a pyramid. So now on the other side, these are my bricks, and on the other side I'm going to draw some hieroglyphics. And this time I'm just going to do some random ones. So it's not going to spell out a word or anything, but just to make it more fun. So I'm going to draw a basket, which is the letter K. Then I'm going to draw a zigzag, which means another letter. And I'm just going to draw all different letters. So this is how my pyramid came out. So I have some hieroglyphics on this side and the bricks on the other side. And this is what I made earlier. So if you want, you can make a bunch of pyramids and then put them on a piece of paper and make a whole scene. You could also add your cartouches to the scene and whatever else you want. So you can make them, I made this one all bricks, and then this one both bricks and hieroglyphics, and you can make yours however you want. I hope you had fun making these Egyptian-themed crafts with me. Bye!
Who's ready to play Egyptian trivia? 10 questions, 4 answers, only one of which is correct. Who's ready to play?
Question number 1. What is the oldest known sculpture in Egypt? A. The Great Pyramid. B. The Sphinx. C. The Luxor Temple. Or D. The Obelisk. What is the oldest known sculpture in Egypt? And the answer is B. The Sphinx. It really is quite massive. Question number 2. What was the ancient Egyptian ruler called? Was it A. Sheikh, B. Emir, C. Pharaoh, or D. Sultan? What was the ancient Egyptian ruler called? And the answer is C. Pharaoh. Question number 3. One of the 7 wonders of the ancient world was built in the desert at Giza. What is it known as? A. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. B. The Great Wall. C. The Temple Artemis. Or D. The Great Pyramid. One of the 7 wonders of the ancient world in the desert in Giza, and it's D. The Great Pyramid. They are quite amazing. Question number 4. Which Egyptian pharaoh was really a woman who wore men's clothing and a beard? Was it Khufu? Was it Nefertiti? Hatshepsut? Hard to say. Or D. Ramses II? Which pharaoh was a woman who wore men's clothing and a beard? And it is Hatshepsut. Nefertiti was also a female pharaoh, but she was quite beautiful. Question number 5. Why did they build pyramids in Egypt? A. To bury the Egyptian leaders of the Old Kingdom. B. To house weapons for the army. C. To honor the Egyptian gods. Or D. All of the above. Why did they build the pyramids in Egypt? And the answer is A. To bury the Egyptian leaders of the Old Kingdom. Question number 6. How old was King Tut when he became pharaoh? Was he A. 2 years old, B. 9 years old, C. 19 years old, or D. 35 years old? How old was King Tut when he became pharaoh? And the answer is B. 9 years old. That's pretty young to become a pharaoh. Question number 7. Why did pharaohs move their royal tombs from the pyramids to the Valley of the Kings? A. They could build bigger monuments there. B. There were no more space for pyramids. C. Pyramids were expensive and easy targets for robbers. Or D. They wanted to be closer to the ground. Why did they move to the Valley of the Kings? C. Pyramids were expensive and easy targets for robbers. Question number 8. The Temple of Karnak was located in what ancient city? A. Cairo. B. Thebes. C. Alexandria. Or D. Memphis. All of those were ancient cities, and the Temple of Karnak was located in B. Thebes. Question number 9. Cairo is A. Egypt's capital city, B. The biggest city in Africa, C. The largest city in the Middle East, or D. All of the above. What is Cairo? And the answer is D. All of the above. It's the capital, biggest city in Africa, and biggest city in the Middle East. Our last and final question, question number 10. What is the special kind of writing used by ancient Egyptians called? What do they call that writing? A. Classic Arabic. B. The Latin alphabet. C. Hieroglyphics. Or D. Tadpoles. What's the special kind of writing used by ancient Egyptians called? And the answer is C. Hieroglyphics. I'll bet you knew that one. Anyway, thanks so much for playing trivia with me today. I look forward to seeing you next time.
Well, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to watch more Wheels Up episodes, you can find us on YouTube at Sunrise Association. Wheels Up has its own playlist. Or you can download our app at Sunrise Studios. I look forward to seeing you next time.